So you want to know about life after the altar, huh? You want to know about mistakes, transitioning, family growth? Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be answering your questions on life after the altar, and let me just say this, you guys asked a lot of good questions, so without further ado, let's get into it. And by the way, if you see me looking to the side, it's because I have my questions here. Number one, how did you transition to moving into his house? So we both found a place together, but of course my husband, he moved in first a couple months before we got married and settled down. And by the time it was time for me to move in, it wasn't really that hard of a transition. I think it was a little difficult at first, just trying to figure things out. At first I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I cook? Like, I didn't have any idea of a routine, obviously, because this is all new to me. But once I got in the swing of things, I started learning when he does certain things, how he likes certain things. It did get a bit easier. So of course, with each new circumstance in life, it's gonna take some time adjusting, but it wasn't like a big difficult transition, if that makes sense. My husband's like really easygoing, really chill. He's just a very relaxed guy. So it wasn't that much of a transition. It was just, learning him. Number two, what comes easiest for you in marriage? I think what comes easier for me is thinking of him. I could literally go out, like I said in my other video, if I go out to eat, I'm thinking of my husband. If I'm at the store, I might be at Target and I'm shopping for myself, I might see something and be like, wow, I need to get this for my husband. You know what? He might need new socks. He might need new pants. He might need new this. And even just outside the sphere of shopping, if I'm going somewhere or if I'm doing something, he's constantly in the back of my mind. Like, it's no longer, when they say it's no longer about you, it's literally no longer just about you. Like, in everything that I do, even when it comes to my job or picking up shifts, I consider him in every single thing, every area. Every purchase I'll make, I consider him. So I think just considering him, caring for him, just making sure that his needs are met and making sure that he is up to date on any decisions that need to be made, any big decisions, I make sure to run it by him. So I think that's what comes easiest for me. Have you made any mistakes while being newly married? Yeah. But let me see. Where do I start? But of course I make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I currently make mistakes. I'm by no means professional at this, guys. I'm literally like a year and a couple months in, 7 to be exact. Who's counting? Oh yes, me. But yes, I make mistakes, but you know what I do? I learn from them. I keep them in the back of my mind. I know this might not feel good in the moment, but next time I know he doesn't like when I do this. He doesn't like when I speak to him like this. He doesn't like when I constantly bring up this. He doesn't like when I do this. He doesn't like this. I learn from the mistakes. Of course, nobody likes to make them. We want to make our husbands happy all the time. But, life, just be lifing. And sometimes we mess up. And it's okay, as long as we choose to learn from those mistakes so we don't repeat them in the future. What are some things you learned about yourself being married? That I can be a little bit short-tempered. I can be a little bit stubborn. I could like things to go my way, and I could learn to be a bit more flexible instead of always having things go my way. That's why I bring up that topic so much, because I know it resonates with me. I know how it was for me. I know my battles, and I don't want you guys to make those mistakes as well. I've learned that sometimes I do need to keep my mouth shut, and as badly as I want to address certain things are just left untouched, because you don't always need to make a mountain out of a molehill. I've learned that. I've learned so much about myself in marriage, honestly. It's funny because you come into marriage thinking, you know what, I got this. I hear what people say, it's this and that, but I like this guy. I've been courting him for 2 years. This is gonna be easy. What? When I tell you marriage will test you, it'll stretch you. It might even break you, but it'll rebuild you into a better person if you let it. Man, when I tell you it's literally a mirror, like it will mirror and show you your imperfections, and you can choose to ignore it or you can choose to acknowledge it. You can choose to realize, sometimes I am the problem. Sometimes I am a bit toxic. Sometimes I do need to just shut up. So, yeah. How do you keep the marriage from being boring or too serious? You do spontaneous things. Like, My husband and I, we love to go out in the town and do different things. One of our favorite things to do is go to the movies. We have a specific movie theater that we like. It's nice and laid back. The food is amazing. That's something that we always look forward to doing. But we also like to go out to eat sometimes. We like to try different restaurants. We like to get ice cream. Like, there's so many things to do. Plan different outings. And if you don't want to go out, you could even plan to do something at home. Time's just getting expensive. Nobody has money all the time to go spending and do stuff. Sometimes you can have a little picnic at home, or a little paint and sip at home, or watch a movie at home. Like, you gotta learn how to be creative, how to keep things spicy. Because we know sometimes it can get a little mundane. You go to work every day, come back at a certain time, go to work the next day, come back, so it can get a little routine or mundane again, like I said, if you let it. That's why you have to plan different things. You have to be intentional in your relationship. You have to be intentional in planning things for the sake of your marriage, so that doesn't happen. How did you know you were ready to start proving? Well, I've always had the desire to be married. I've always had that desire. And once I came into this truth and, I built a name for myself, I worked in different offices and things of that nature, I made it known to my parents, and my parents made it known with the leadership in the school, who set something up where I was able to meet my now husband. And yeah, so even though I felt ready, the decision was ultimately in the hands of my parents and in the hands of leadership to see if they thought that I was fit to start proving. Because just because you feel like you're ready doesn't mean that you're ready, honey. Sometimes those people around you can see things in your character that might need a bit more development before you even consider courting or marrying or anything of the sort. And that's okay, because everything is for a season. So once we got the green light to start courting, honey, we did that. We did that, and all praises that we were able to do things the right way. What are you all's timeliness for little ones, or are you waiting on the Most High? Now, you done answered your own question right there now, sis. We are waiting on the Most High, ultimately. When I got married, I said to myself, Lord, please, I want to at least have a year with my husband with no kids. At least. The minimum I asked was for a year. And thank God we got that year, because, of course we want to obey the command, be fruitful and multiply, of course. But I just married this man. I want to get to know him more. It's one thing to go from courting to now living with this person. You're married, you see them on a day-to-day. Sometimes it might feel like a new person altogether, and to bring a baby into the mix of that right away personally isn't something that I wanted to do personally right then and there. I wanted to wait some time to understand him and just get into the flow of being a wife. So I asked the Lord for a year, and thank God I got that. And if he sees a fit that we have a child soon, then we do. We're not trying, but if it happens, it happens. We are excited either way. I'm just glad that I am able to enjoy this time with him, just me and him right now, because I'm his baby. I love that I can travel with him, and I love this time to just do spontaneous fun things with him while it's just him and I, and Lord's will, once the baby's added into the mix, we'll enjoy that as well. And you all will be informed, Y'all don't gotta comment on my post, oh, where's that baby? You don't have to do that. When that time comes, you will know, okay? Was he different after you started living with him? What's something new you learned? I wouldn't necessarily say he was different, no, but I will say it's one thing to go from seeing someone on casual dates every now and then to seeing them on a daily. You start to learn their annoyances, their pet peeves, but you also start to learn more about what makes them happy. You see their goofiness, their silliness. You see a different side to them that you might not have seen to the extent while you were courting. So I was definitely able to learn more of those things about him, like his likes and dislikes. And yeah, I'm not gonna put his business out there, but I've definitely learned a lot about him. And one thing I learned is that he's really silly. It's funny because people see my husband and they see someone who's always serious and stoic all the time, and it's like when I see him, I see a whole nother side of him that nobody else knows. And I must say it does feel very special to know that side, because he's such an awesome guy. How have your views about marriage changed? Oh boy, man, when I first got married, I thought, man, I got this. I really see the seriousness of it. I really encourage if you're courting. Take your time. I understand you're burning. You want to get into the, you know what I'm saying? I understand that, but it's more to marriage than just that. Like, it's so get to know the person that you're with. Make sure that you guys are on the same page about everything. Ask all the uncomfortable questions now. Don't wait until you're married to have those discussions. Have them now. I definitely treat marriage with more respect now, being a year and a couple months in, than when I first got married. Like, I see the seriousness of it in all aspects, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, making sure Christ is at the center. Like, it's so much to it. So take your time courting, guys. It's a serious thing, okay? It's not even always good days. Like, it's just, take your time, take your time. But I love it here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, honey. I'm gonna answer 2 more questions because I don't want to draw this video out too much. I'm not sure what the length is right now, but I like to keep my videos a little short, sweet, to the point. Next question is, how do you balance individual needs with the needs of the relationship? I would say understanding, as much as you love this person, especially us ladies, sometimes after a long day and your man comes home, you want to be all up on them and love you. That's great. But understand that he needs his alone time too. Just as much as you need your alone time when you come back home and you want to charge and just have some time to yourself, he does too. And I think that both of us recognizing that we need to have our alone time as well will make the relationship thrive. Like, I remember in our first year, my husband and I, we are both introverts. So he would be in the living room just chilling, watching a movie or something, and I'll be in the bedroom chilling, doing whatever. And we were cool. We loved it like that. Of course, there were times where we'd get together and watch movies and we do stuff together, but we could literally be in the same house in different rooms doing different things respectively and be okay. Like, as much as I love him, I don't want to be under him 24/7, and vice versa. You don't want to be under me 24/7. So that's one thing when it comes to personal space. But individual needs, of course, if I feel as if some of my needs aren't being met, I can vocalize that, you know? I will definitely vocalize that if they are important. I'm not gonna be petty. It's something that's not gonna matter within the next month or the next few weeks. If it's something that's petty, I'm not gonna bring it up. But if it's something that's really crucial to the relationship, that is affecting me to the point where I'm not going to be able to do my best as a wife, then I will bring it up and we will have that conversation. I want to be in the best headspace to be able to serve and cater to my husband in the best way. But if I feel as if certain things aren't being met, then I have to have that discussion, or else I won't be able to do that as a wife to the best of my ability. And you know, we've had uncomfortable conversations, and no, they might not feel great in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it really helped for the growth of certain things. So yes, there definitely is a balance, because you want to make sure that it is being met, but at the same time, don't be selfish. Like, if this is something that's truly not that important, if it's not going to matter within next week or the next couple months, like, you learn, I'll say this, you will learn what's priority and what is secondary. You will learn what you need to bring to the forefront and what you just need to leave at the back burner. And last question, what advice would you give to newlyweds based on your own experience? To take their time. Take your time. I know this is exciting. I know that you just want to get to know this person more and more. I know that you want to hang out with them. I know you want to do so many other things. I get it. I was once there. I totally understand. But take your time. Do not ignore any red flags. If something seems a little off, a little fishy to you, investigate that. Ask about that. Ask an advisor or a counselor or a trusted individual, someone who you know has common sense, who's not going to just say, yeah, girl, nah, you tripping. He fine, girl. No, someone who knows that's going to help keep you on the right track. Someone who's not going to let you go walking blindly because you're so blinded by your lust. This person said such and such to me. Do you think they meant anything by it? Do you think I should look more into it, or should I just fan it off? You know, ask all the questions now. Don't wait until you're married and you are stuck to do something, okay? Get everything out now. Take your time and enjoy the process, you know? Be patient. There are going to be situations that are going to try you. You need to be able to stand tall. Remember the scriptures, because how can you bring to knowledge things that aren't there? How can you apply what you don't know? Make sure you keep Christ at the center, Most High God, ask him for wisdom. And honestly, if the Most High shows you that someone is not for you, ask him for the strength to walk away from that, to end this courtship. If you know that this man's way of doing things, maybe his leadership isn't something that you could see yourself following in the future, be real with yourself. Don't feel as if you have to settle because you're so desperate, you just take anything that's given to you. Like, be real with yourself. Know what you can and can't handle. You know what I'm saying? Be realistic, of course. Don't be thinking, oh, he has to make this much. Listen, as long as this man has something going on for him, he's working, he's intelligent, he's got a head on his shoulders. Amen. Amen. Don't settle, but don't be stupid either. But yeah, that's all the questions for now, because I don't want this to be a bit too long. If you'd like a part 2, let me know in the comments below. Or if you want me to talk about a different topic, let me know below, you guys. I want to help you guys so much when it comes to femininity and relationships. And if you want me to talk about different things as well, let me know. I'm always looking for different ideas to make on the channel. I hope these questions were helpful, guys. This is honestly just based on my experience. I want to help you. I don't want you guys to make any mistakes I would have made. And yeah, drop any tips down below that you might find that even I can benefit from. Again, I'm only a year and like 7 months in, so I'm still new to this. What is your piece of advice for me? How would you encourage me? So we both can learn from each other, okay? I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you check out my last video if you haven't. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, shalom.